Happy Father's Day to my father and to all the fathers and fathers to be, school fathers, sweet fathers. Happy Father's Day. So I searched and searched and searched for a song to dedicate to my dad today. There was Sweet Mother, I no go forget you. There was Obonye Gabo Mama Nne. There was Nemo Nemo Ezimo Nemo Nne. There was Who sat and washed my infant head, my mother. I couldn't see a song dedicated to fathers. Fathers, why? And fathers are so vital. Good fathers are the foundation of society. Thank God for my dad. I would still do a tribute video. But this is man, I don't know. I searched since last night. I've been searching so that I can surprise my dad. But daddy, you will take this one because this is the one song that has defined my relationship with my dad, at least from when I turned 22. And I fell in love. And I came back home and told my father, I fell in love. My father said, what? You that we just brought back from St. Mary's Hospital, Aba, when 1980, Kini, you were so small. How can you fall in love? Who are you loving? Who are you loving? You're such a baby. Who you the love? So this is the song I have for my father. Daddy mo, imana love ebugo mebu, obugo mebu. Daddy mo, imana love ebugo mebu, obugo mebu. Daddy mo, imana love ebugo mebu, obugo mebu. So to my daddy, I love you. We, your 4 children, love you so much. Daddy, you are special. You are a rare breed. You are one of a kind. The sacrifices you made for us, we will never forget. For me, I will never forget. Honestly, you are our daddy, first of all, before you are Ohamadike Ndife and Okenze, the traditional high prime minister of Ife, before you were the many-time president of ICANN, Abia State, before you became the world-renowned auditor and accountant that you've been. I want to say thank you for making that sacrifice. You came back from the UK. That time, you came back to Aba and took over the business from my granddad, who set up the first accounting firm east of the Niger. My granddad was a doctor, a PhD holder in accounting, and he also did his studies he trained in Dublin, trained in America, came back to Nigeria, set up his accounting firm, and built a church in my village. My dad is now the parish chairman of that church. My dad is running the family business. And one thing I will never forget, one of the great lessons about my dad was when we were small, my dad used to always find poems and motivational quotes from the Guardian newspaper. My dad is an avid reader of the Guardian newspaper till today. My mom's dad, my maternal grandpa, used to read Punch and Concord, as for those that lived in Owerri. And there was this poem my dad made us memorize. Hard work is the antidote to poverty. He made the 4 of us, my Chukwudi, my elder brother, myself, Fechi, my younger brother, and my sisters, he made us memorize this. And he came back from work that day and told us to recite it. So that's what he used to do, give us things to memorize. And when he comes back, we will recite it for him. And I won. And he gave me 50 naira. I will never forget this. Those words, I may have forgotten the other parts of the poem, but hard work is the antidote to poverty. And people say, oh, if hard work is the antidote to poverty, what about those who are working and suffering and slaving and haven't gained anything? Like I said in one of my videos about, my coming to the UK and the job I did, I believe in grace. And I believe in addition to hard work, there has to be the divine factor. But work hard, because you never know where your opportunity will meet you. My dad is my first love, my best friend. As a child, I remember hiding under my father's ishiago in the church. I will go under my father's ishiago if I felt scared. Ishiago is a traditional cloth that Igbo men, titled Igbo men should wear it. It has the heads of leopards, Argo is leopard, abio. Odum is lion. Argo has head of leopards on it, and it signified bravery. So if I was scared or if I felt I needed a place of safety, I would go under my father's ishago. My head would be there, my legs would be out, and I would be blowing on my father's big stomach, his pot belly. We're working on it now because I'm a doctor, and I now know the meaning of truncal obesity. He's working on it right now. I used to go under my father's ishago to feel safe. My dad would always remind me, know whose daughter you are, know whose family you're coming from, know that you're flying a flag for the family. My dad always told my sister and I that we're beautiful, and it helped our confidence. Even when I was in secondary school, I was one of what you call the late bloomers. I wasn't among, the pretty kind of thing. But I always reminded myself whenever I felt pressured, maybe to give in to certain teenage desires, hormones, boyfriends, which I wanted to because every other person was having boyfriends. But when it got to things that I really was not convinced to do, I would always remember my dad telling me, remember whose daughter you are, remember that we love you, and my mother would not help matters. I met your father a virgin, a virgin. But my dad, the role my dad played in my life and the life of my siblings, my dad made such huge sacrifices. My father will not know, but my parents' room was beside our room. Of course, they will lock the door now. We are children. We don't need to know what's going on there. But there were mornings I wake up early because, as a teenager, sometimes a girl, for that matter, you start having insomnia, maybe thinking about boys that will not toast to your crush. I woke up one morning, I heard my parents, I overheard them while I was eavesdropping, talking about selling their cars because my dad sent my elder brother and I to one of the most expensive schools in Nigeria. As at 1996, that was when I entered secondary school, Access High Schools, Calabar. My dad went to Hope Waddell, so he loves Calabar. And my dad would always say Calabar, Calabar, means come and live and be at rest. And that's why people always wonder, oh, you grew up in Aba, but you're calm. I grew up in Aba. I have that side of me that I keep, and I bring it out if it tests me. And I also had my formative years in Calabar. So I think that's why my Igbo is a bit difficult. It's not as smooth as it should be. And this is to those who mock my Igbo when I do my videos and say, hey, you should know the Igbo words for this. Your dialect is not even be say like, my dear, please do your own, eh? Do your own and leave my own alone. So my dad is my greatest cheerleader. Well, my husband is now my greatest cheerleader, and my dad now knows his place. After all the godo in 2012, gist for another day. So daddy, today, there's so much I want to say. You will not understand. You will not know. But the thing is, fathers, young fathers and fathers to be, children never forget what you do. Somebody said children may forget the events, but they never forget how you made them feel. My dad made me feel like a queen, a princess. Right from time, my father used to tell me, you inherited my best features. Look at my nails. I inherited my dad's nails. I inherited my hot legs from my dad. I inherited his hair. That's the one that pains me because my mother will always, when she used to comb my hair, she would comb my hair. In fact, combs broke on my hair. So it was my father that personally had to find a hair maker for me at Omenazu. For those who live in Aba, Omenazu, there was a lady who used to stay there, Ofako. I love her. She's my friend. And I hope that when next I go back to Aba, I will see her. Ofako is a lady, she's deaf and dumb. But she set up a hair making bacha with zinc at Omenazu. And my father would take me by the hand to go and make my hair there. And I'll never forget when my father found a love letter in my wardrobe when I turned 16. Hey, that was my first early morning meeting with my parents. That meeting where they call you by 6 a.m., wake you up, give you feather to clean your ear. So you hear. My father said, don't you, these boys, and loyal, these are small boys, you haven't seen men. Calm down. Baby, calm down, oh, calm down. And I calmed down, shall. But when I entered school, I don't know. I think it's that Opa. There's something in Opa. My father said, didn't you see all the eligible big young men, the families I can call for you? My father is a politician. So so many families. I said, Daddy, allow me to make my choice. And here we are today. So yes, Daddy, happy Father's Day to you. God bless you. God sustain you. My prayer for you is that you will live long, healthy in the land of the living, and enjoy the goodness of this earth. We, your children, we will spoil you nyafu nyafu. We love you. Your in-laws to come and your grandchildren to come. We will spoil you and mommy nyafu nyafu. Daddy, thank you. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy your day. You know I can't say fine bobo. Or dobro, the party maker. And you see the beautiful thing about my father and I, we have a connection. My father came to London. He stayed in Stanmore. My very first job in the UK, in the NHS, was in Stanmore. And that job, I'm checking time at the Gomas, that job was a miraculous job. People don't understand. I got a job without an interview. I went to Stanmore. My father always told me, go and see the accounting firm where he worked in Kenton. I did go there. I saw it, you know. And then when I applied for GP training, I got Derby. Guess what? My father did his accountancy in the University of Derby. He told me where he lived, number 142 Duffield Road. I went and saw the place and snapped it. I sent it to my dad, and my dad said, oh my God. Hey, my Dora, you've taken me back to the days when I was a young bobo. Fine boy with sideburns. I will wear felele and I'll be walking. Fine black young man, hot chocolate, walking on the streets. And they'll be like, oh my God, he's a beautiful African man. Ha ha. He not get any plan whether they want to hold my father down here or make him marry here. But my father is young and my granddad no agree. My granddad brought him back home. My father came back. And then he met my mother. And here we are. So, the story long. Daddy, God bless you. I need to go for mass. I try to make a confession again.